The Hadrian's Wall Path is an 84-mile-long national trail that follows the line of Hadrian's Wall from Bowness-on-Solway on the Solway Firth to Wallsend on the River Tyne. Come with us as we follow this wonderful 2,000-year-old monument on a magnificent walking trail. It's Tuesday the 12th of August and it's 10:40 and we're at the start of the Hadrian's Wall Path. After a bit of a white knuckle bus ride from Carlisle that took an hour and 40 minutes, we went through Bowness-on-Solway and then went back through Bowness-on-Solway again and got off. And we stayed in Carlisle last night and we're walking back to Carlisle and staying in the same place and then carrying on from there tomorrow. And the forecast is good. Well, we just started the Hadrian's Wall walk. I'm here with my friend Peter. We did the coast to coast together last year. It's a beautiful day. The sun's beating down. And we've got the Solway Firth on our left. And just beyond that, Scotland. We found a little house on booking.com that actually, for two of us staying, it was a two-bedroom house, ended up being about 50 quid each a night, and it means that we've got somewhere nice to stay tonight, and then tomorrow, next 4 days, we're staying at campsites until we get to Newcastle. So looking forward to the walk. We reckon it will take us 6 days. We're not pushing it at all. So we're not doing silly mileages. I'm just going to enjoy ourselves and hopefully look in the few museums that are on the way. So we've just gone through Glasson and now we're cutting across the fields to Drumborough, where there's a castle apparently. Thank you. So this is Drumborough Castle, which is not really a castle anymore. Just a very old house. So very flat round here with what looks like a dike on our left hand side. By road, 8.5 miles to Carlisle. I think it's going to be slightly more than that walking. It's been very hot today and very still as well, not a breeze at all, but beautiful walking weather, and it's been a very pleasant walk actually so far. Probably about 6 miles to go. So just walking across farmland now. I had to deploy my buff because it's getting really hot. It's protecting the back of my neck, but it is glorious weather and very pleasant scenery. Very few people around. We've seen a few other people walking the path in the direction that we're going, but not many. And of course an advantage of having a little place in Carlisle for tonight as well means that we've both been able to take virtually empty rucksacks. Just got our wet weather gear, which we're going to have absolutely no use for today, and lunch and stuff like that. So it's been a delight hardly having to carry anything at all. I'll show you a little bit of the path. And there's Scotland in the distance. Just over the ridge is the Solway Firth. So this is what looks like Beaumont, but it's pronounced Beamont. Beautiful, quiet little village. It's like being back in the 1950s. And here is St Mary's Church. In the 11th century, there was a Norman Motte and Bailey castle on a mound with a courtyard on this site. And we've just stopped at turret number 70 for a very nice ice cream. It's just hit the spot. They also do coffee, iced coffee as well, and dumplings as well, which look rather nice. So we left Beaumont with the church behind us and followed what is the normal path down along a little road, but then unfortunately the footpath is closed, so we had to retrace our steps to St Mary's Church and walk along past the church, keeping it on our right, along the little road there, and then turn left. And it's a little bit more road walking, but it's pleasant enough. Oh, it has been hot. Hot. Ooh. Mind you, I think I'd rather have the sun than winds and rain and cold and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy. I've just about got enough water, so I should be okay. Just coming to a little farm now, or a big farm, and then heading on to Carlisle. So this is the River Eden. Well, good morning. It's Wednesday, the 13th of August, and it's 8:55 in the morning. Beautiful day. It's going to be very hot, I think a bit hotter than yesterday, and it got up to 28 yesterday. We've just left Carlisle. Nice little stay in our little house. Had a very pleasant Thai meal yesterday. Of pints. Got about 14.5 miles to do today to Quarry's Edge campsite at Banks, which looks a pleasant campsite, although there are no showers. Not quite sure what we're going to do for food tonight, but we've got some food with us. How are you, Peter?
I'm good. It's
good.
Getting the joints working again.
Yes. Taking a good couple of miles to get back into the swing of walking, but as I say, it's a lovely morning, and just going out of Carlisle on a nice path with lots of vegetation by the side of us. I'll show you. This is the River Eden, and the path we're following goes down there. That's the bridge that we're going to cross in a minute. It's an extremely impressive bridge, considering it's only for bicycles and foot passengers. It's delightful walking through Rickaby Park. Lots of cattle roaming free. Very nice green space. Seems to be pretty well used. Nice easy walking. It's about 10 o'clock. Done about 4.5 miles. Just been through the village of Linstock, which is beautiful. And apparently there was Linstock Castle on the left, but didn't see anything of that. possible signs of at least mounds left by the wall. We haven't seen anything resembling a wall yet, but this looks a little bit more like it. And that's where we're going. Well, we've done just over 8 miles and it's about 11:30 and the sun is really beating down. It's quite brutal now. Must be about 26 degrees and we're in a long bit over nice grassy fields, but no shade at all, so getting quite a battering with the sun's rays, but it is rather beautiful. Very few signs of the wall yet, but I'm sure we'll catch up with a bit more of it in a bit. We just stopped at the old dairy in Newtown, just where the path crosses the main A road, and that was lovely. Had a good sit down there in the shade, nice iced coffee, and we ate our sandwiches. Very pleasant place to stay and beautiful temperature, and got 4.5–5 miles to go now till Quarryside camping. Just past Florrie's bunkhouse in Walton, which is closed today, and beautiful views, slightly hazy. The sun is beating down and got just over 3 miles to go. Well, it's 2:30. We're about a mile away from the campsite, but at Lanercost we're going to go down to the Priory, and there's a cafe there, I think, so we're going to lounge around and have something to eat and drink. We've just walked up from the tea room at Lanercost Priory, and behind us is turret 53B, but no sign of it yet. We're about 10 minutes walk away from the campsite, I think, and hopefully we're going to see our first bit of the actual wall, because we haven't seen any of it so far. So just done an ascent, and we've got a lovely view. It's quite hazy, but it's nice and still and quiet with a very slight breeze, which helps. So this is a fragment of the actual wall. And our first sight of the actual stones. Well, we're at Quarryside campsite, and it's a little gem. Beautiful grass. We appear to be the only people here at the moment, so we've bagged 2 flat spots by a picnic table. It's composting toilets, no showers unfortunately, but that's okay. I think there are places where we can have a wash, and a little shepherd's hut that you can hire as well. Beautiful, peaceful campsite, and it's just, you couldn't really wish for anything better. And £6 per night, and hopefully there are a few places in nearby village that will deliver food, But if they don't, we've got our own, so that's all right. So let's get the old tent up. This is going to be my pitch. And my
Is this on
tent
slow motion?
is up like this. Ta-da! Literally 3 minutes later. A work of art. There we go, the old Lanshan. I've set the poles quite high to hopefully get a fair bit of ventilation. It's very still at the moment, so I don't know what it's going to be like later on. And here's Peter's much more posh Durston X-Mid 1, 2. There are 2 places that deliver here. There's an Indian and also a chippy pizza place. Unfortunately, the Indian is closed on a Wednesday night, and it's Wednesday today. So we've ordered a couple of pizzas, which should be coming in about half an hour. I'm looking forward to eating them. But it's a beautiful campsite. Well, good morning on day 3. We stayed at Quarryside campsite in Banks last night, which was a gem. Really very pleasant. Not many other people there, another couple, and a couple of cyclists turned up a bit later. They only cater for walkers, and it was just a very pleasant place to stay. No showers, but toilets there. And we managed to order takeaway pizza from Brampton, which was very tasty. Didn't sleep particularly well, but then again, I never do. Short day today, probably just over 10 miles, 11 miles, something like that, to On the Wall campsite. Weather's changed quite a lot. It's overcast, quite a lot cooler, which I'm quite pleased about actually, because it was stinking hot yesterday. And literally as soon as I said that, we could come across more wall. This is turret 52A, an observation tower. Just past another bit of the wall, which used to be turret 51B, I think. Just come past Coombe Crag. There's a little Honesty Box cafe and also a campsite. And by the looks of it, this little bit of woods has suffered from lots of trees coming down. Lovely easy walking so far. Very few ups and downs. Walking on beautiful grassy bank that was probably part of the fortifications. Sun's trying to put in an appearance, but it's resolutely grey. Still a little bit close, but good walking weather. Tiny bit of a breeze. And very pleasant. Pleasant but not spectacular. But really good to see the odd little bits of turrets on the way. Much more so than the first 2 days. I think we've already passed 3 or 4 examples. Lots of kissing gates, but very few styles. Thank goodness. And there's Peter. So there's turret 49B, I think, or is it might be A. And then all along here remains of the wall. Must have been such a substantial piece of engineering. Just stopped at Oswald Roman Fort with a nice visitor centre. Just went in and had a very nice coffee and a cheese scone. It's just past 10 and it opened at 10. We were thinking of going into the visitor centre, but £15.50 seemed quite steep. So we carried on. What looks like a long section of the wall. And a very pleasant field to walk through. That's looking back the way we've come. Very impressive. Bit of the wall here. 1900 years old. Very spectacular. So this is the bridge at Willowfield, one of the 3 crossings of major rivers. One's the Tyne in Newcastle, one's the Eden in Carlisle, and this I think is the Irthing, something like that. And this bridge was lifted into position by helicopter in 1999 because of the sensitive nature of the area. Nice little climb. You can see the wall stretching into the distance. So just crossing into Northumberland, England's border county, not country, and we're in Gillsland, and there's an alternative route through the village because the little bridge is down. It won't show up on the video, but there's a fair old descent. I think we go under the railway line, or over the railway line, or across the railway line, and then right up to the top. So it looks like a little bit of a stiff climb, but it's not too far. So the answer to my question about above, below or across the railway is across the railway. We've got a green light. Now Peter's going to lay down across the railway tracks for half an hour just to prove that it's completely safe. I think we're all right. And there's Youth Hostel fairly close. Little sign for that there. We've also just crossed the Pennine Way.
I think we're on the Pennine.
Oh, what? We're on the Pennine Way, I think. Oh. Let's have a look. And just like that, we're at the top. Quite a stiff climb up, but beautiful views. Rolling fields and pastures. Lovely. Just stopped at a country park visitor centre and might be going right up to the top of that hill. Not quite sure, but a nice little lake. So this is the view from the top. And it must have been hard work getting a stone up here for the wall. Pretty impressive. Pretty spectacular. The sun's out as well, which is rather nice. So this is Walltown Crags. It's pretty much looking south, and path's a bit more challenging now, more ups and downs, which is rather nice after 2.5 days of relatively flat walking. It's nice to be pushed a little bit. This bit of the path is shared with Pennine Way, and this must be relatively close to the end of the Pennine Way, I assume. Kirk yet home. Let's see what's on the other side of this crag. Pretty good. There's been a change in countryside now that we're in Northumberland. Much more out of the way since we left the park and the visitor centre. A little bit more rugged, and you get the feeling like as if you're walking along across a moor or something like that. Certainly it's a bit rougher than the walking we've been doing so far. Certainly a lot more ups and downs, which is really nice, and looks like we're going into this forest now. We've gone from Kissing Gates in Cumbria to the uppy downy steps across the wall in Northumberland. So this is Corfield's Quarry. Thought it looked a bit unnatural. We're just over a mile before we turn off for Hadrian's Wall campsite, which has showers, hooray. We've come about a mile off the path in a southerly direction, and we're staying at Hadrian's Wall campsite tonight. So here we are at Hadrian's Wall campsite, bunk barn glamping. We won't be glamping tonight, I'll tell you that. Let's see what it looks like. Well, it's the little spot where I camped. Not a bad pitch. Decent shower, and okay to stay for the night. Well, good morning. It's Friday the 15th of August, just about 9 o'clock. We stayed at the Hadrian's Wall campsite last night, which was perfectly alright. Okay showers, and not a bad place to pitch. We walked just over a mile off the path to get there. Pitched up, did a bit of sort of washing and things like that, and then walked to the Milestone Inn, which was just over a mile. Worth booking if you're going to go there. We had a nice meal, pints, very nice pints actually. Then walked back, slept pretty well. Campsite do egg, bacon rolls, things like that. So we've had that, coffee. We're now walking back to Claw's Crag, I think it is, where the walk starts again. I think we found a little footpath that will take us there slightly quicker. And then we continue going eastwards. It's not a bad day today. The wind's up a little bit and it's a bit cooler. It's quite cloudy, but the sun's out. And today, in a few miles, we go past Sycamore Gap. So it'll be interesting to see that. And I think that after about 7 k's, there's a little visitor centre where we might be able to get a coffee as well. But apart from that, there's nothing to eat or drink until we get to Green Cart's campsite. And even then, I don't think there's anything there. So we might have the food that we've taken with us tonight. We'll see how things go. It's been a good walk so far. Yesterday afternoon was more challenging, where we joined the Pennine Way. Lots of ups and downs, but much more fun and some fantastic views. And good bits of the wall as well. So I very much enjoyed that. Before that, it's been pretty easy walking, so be interested to see what today brings. I think we've got, for the first 7 miles, we've got much more in the way of ascent and descent, and then it gets flatter again. Right, let's go. So looking back to Hadrian's Wall campsite, and then looking over to the west, see the monumental feat of engineering that was this wall, and then north into the Badlands with the Picts, who wanted to claim back their land, and then heading east, and up the wall goes. Not sure whether this is the real wall or just a dry stone wall. Looks more like a dry stone wall, but we're definitely following the path. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear me above the wind. It's not particularly windy here, but camera probably picks it up. We're at the trig point, which is supposed to be the highest bit of Hadrian's Wall, and the views are tremendous. Beautiful countryside. Just coming up to what I think is Sycamore Gap now. It's really impressive countryside around here. Rather beautiful, quite rugged. Is this Sycamore Gap? Don't know. Let's find out. So got a bit of a scramble up in a minute. So we walked through a number of gaps, thinking that each one was Sycamore Gap, but this one is definitely it. That's where the tree was, but it is budding again, which is good. Slightly different walking at the moment, through some woods with, I can't remember the name of it, but a nice lake on our left, and an easy path gradually descending. It's about 5 to 11, so we've been walking for nearly 2 hours. I think we've only done a couple of miles because it's been quite uppy downy, but the views have been tremendous, and it's been a really good bit of the walk. Just coming to the end of this wooded section now. Certainly been following the wall all the way, pretty much as close as you can get, which has been good. Great views of the wall winding its way into the distance. Out in the open again now, after that brief walk through the forested bit. And probably about 1 mile away from Housesteads, where we're hoping there's someone to have a coffee. So this is the bit where the Pennine Way branches off north. Certainly since we've joined the Pennine Way, it's been a little bit more challenging, more interesting. So I'm assuming the next bit is going to be dead easy and flat all the way to Newcastle. We just dropped down away from the path at Housesteads, where there was a little visitor centre. We had a pasty and a cake and something to drink, which was very welcome, because I think it's probably the only refreshments we're going to get today before we get to the campsite at Green Carts. And I think it's a working farm, so I don't think they do anything. So it may have to be a dehydrated meal for tea tonight. But that's all right. It's been a good day so far. Haven't done a huge amount of mileage, but that's because it's been very uppy downy. But wonderful bits of the wall. Look at that. Is that south? Sweeping round along the wall, down and back up there, past that high bit, and then down and round, and all the way along, right in the distance there. That's looking back the way we've come, and that's the lake there is Brumley Lough, or Loch, I don't know. Getting quite close to Scotland, I suppose. Fantastic views. And just up there, about 20 yards away or 50 metres away is a trig point. For the last mile or so, we've been gently descending, and it's certainly much easier walking now. A few small little ups and downs, but it's a nice grassy path, and making much better time. But unfortunately, we don't get the views that we got before. The sun's been out for the last hour or so, and it's been pretty hot. And I think we're both feeling quite tired. Coming up to Shield on the Wall and Mile Castle 33, and I think it's Mile Castle 30. Just after that, we head north, and we're staying at Green Carts campsite tonight, which I think is a farm, which sounds okay. And I should be quite pleased to get there. It was a really good morning's walking, but it was pretty tiring. But fantastic views and loads of the wall. So this is the Temple of Mithras, and the sheep seem very keen on it. Temple of Mithras served soldiers in the Roman fort at Carlisle and civilians living in a settlement outside it between AD 200 and 350. And that's the aerial view. You are here. About a mile from the turning that takes us to Green Carts, where our campsite is, and then it's about half a kilometre to the campsite. Just walking along odd little bits of the wall. Green Carts is over on our left, but we're not quite sure how we can access it. Hopefully we can just go down a road on the left, a tiny little road, and get to it from there. Another section of the wall. Well, good morning. It's Saturday the 16th of August. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, day 5. We stayed at Green Carts campsite last night, the Friday night, and it was packed. It was alright. It was okay. It was quite noisy, but people did pipe down at a relatively sensible time. Although there was a French family opposite us that were using their lights as a guide for the local airport. At least we could have a shower and things like that. Managed to get an Indian from a takeaway, which was delivered, and that was nice. Got packed away and set up about 7:45, and we undernerred about setting off a bit later and having breakfast in Chollerton. Decided to get a move on, and we're going to stop after about 7 miles and have breakfast then. 17 miles to do today, and we're staying at Pitch on the Wall campsite, which sounds like it might be a little bit quieter. Yesterday was surprisingly strenuous, but really good. As Peter was saying, it was the first chance we actually got to see the wall receding into the distance. How are you, Peter?
Good, it was a good day yesterday. I think the highlight so far was the wall.
Yes, I agree.
Although the most strenuous.
Yeah.
You have to take the rough with the smooth.
Yes. Up to about Wednesday afternoon, I think it was a 7 out of 10. Very pleasant, but okay. And then as soon as we started getting to the uppy downy bits, joining the Pennine Way, it went right up there. So that was good fun. It's overcast today.
But we haven't been rained on.
Well, a few drops of rain in the night apparently, but I didn't hear them. But no sign of rain at all. And I reckon we're going to get to Newcastle without getting too wet, or getting wet, full stop. So we'll see how that goes. So I've just pretended I'm filming here to let Peter go across the stile first and chase the cows away. I don't think there are any calves, so that's one good thing.
Morning.
So this is our first glimpse of the Tyne. That's the westerly side. And let's have a look at the easterly side. There it is. Already quite a substantial river. We've done about 3.5 miles. So about halfway to brunch stop. And the walking's reverted to scenic and pleasant, but not particularly spectacular. Got one more up here, and then it's going to be undulating, according to a chap we've just met and talked to. A lot of walking through fields and odd bits of the wall that we've just seen. Some rather nice views of the countryside to the north. I think by road it's about 20 miles to Newcastle. Pleasant, pretty easy walking today, which is nice, and probably a couple of miles till where we're going to have something to eat. So about 7 miles in, and it's 10:43. We've arrived at the Errington Coffee House for a well-deserved brunch. Probably got about 6.5 miles to the campsite today. It's 10 to 12, so we're doing pretty well. And we think there's a pub about a mile away from the campsite, which we'll go to tonight. No showers in the campsite tonight, but it looks like a nice big field and hopefully won't be too crowded. And then final day tomorrow, and to Wallsend will probably about 17.5 miles. Rather an attractive field. Just stopped at the Robin Hood pub for a quick drink, and I think we've got about 3 and a bit miles to go. So it's 8:20 in the evening. This is pitch on the wall campsite, which is certainly big. Pretty much as far as you can see is camping. Some quite large groups over there, but we've managed, touch wood, to be away from people. The only trouble is we're on the flight path for Newcastle Airport, and there's quite a noisy A69 behind us. £15 each a night for backpackers, and there's one water tap and about 6 portaloos, which is not great value for money. In terms of the campsites, the very first place we stayed on Tuesday night was by far the best. But there we are. And here's Peter. We've just been to the Lion and Lamb, which is about 1.5 miles away. Had a nice meal and a nice pint. Very quiet, considering it was a Saturday night. And I'm just going to watch a film and get into bed. Well, it's 7:20 on Sunday the 17th of August. We stayed at Pitch on the Wall campsite, which was a couple of beautiful fields, but quite ambitiously priced. That we paid £15 each. There was one water tap and about 3 portaloos. Well, maybe slightly more than that. But
30 noisy kids.
Oh yes, and a very large party of people who seemed to carry on until, I don't know, 2 in the morning. But at least we were far enough away so it wasn't particularly intrusive. We were also underneath the flight path to Newcastle Airport, and the A69 is quite close.
Airplanes run until 1 in the morning.
Yes. So lucky old holiday makers, eh? So I'm afraid we won't be recommending Pitch on the Wall campsite. But nevertheless, I slept better than I have done the whole week, and woke up feeling suitably refreshed. It looks a nice morning. There's quite a lot of condensation on the tent, but it's sunny and I think it's going to be warm. We've got around about 18 miles to Wallsend, and I think Peter's worked it out, so it's 6 miles to breakfast, 6 miles, and we'll do a quick detour to the Holiday Inn that we're staying at and leave our bags, and 6 miles then to Wallsend. Let's wait for the car to go past. And once we get to Wallsend, we'll get the metro back to the centre. So, off we go. How are you, Peter?
Oh, all right this morning.
He's all right?
I managed to sit through some of the illness.
Well, everywhere looks rather beautiful in the early morning sunshine. So just coming to Heading on the Wall. It's only about 8:20. Looks a nice little village. We've just come down from Heading on the Wall, and we're just going to catch up with the Tyne, and then I think we're following the Tyne almost all the way with a few little shortcuts. And I think we're pretty much at sea level now, and it will be virtually flat walking for the rest of the walk. So here's the Tyne again, and we're pretty much following this all the way in to Newcastle. Nice easy walking through South Tyne Countryside Park, I think. Flat, and quite a few people out today. Hardly surprising because it's a beautiful day. It's about 9:20. Very nice walking alongside the Tyne. We stopped at Elsie's coffee shop for an egg roll and a cheese scone and a coffee. So here we are in Newcastle city centre. Dropped our bags at Holiday Inn Express and just walking to Wallsend. It's very busy, lots of street fairs and things selling everything and stuff like that, but very pleasant. So we seem to have left the city centre behind us, walking along the Tyne. I think we've got about another 2 miles to go, just over that. Bowness-on-Solway, 84 miles. So this is the end.
Here, isn't it, with all this stuff?
This is it. I think we touch the Centurion. Done and dusted.